Is it a good idea to run one product stores in 2019 as a successful e-commerce business? This is what we will talk about in today's video. Lately, I've heard a lot of people talking about them, like, is it a good idea to start them? More and more people tend to go away from the general store model. And as someone who had a very successful one product store with just a few variants, I just want to give my 2 cents on that topic and give you some pros and cons. So what are the good things about a one product store? What are the bad things? Along with some tips on how you can actually build a successful one product store. So use this video as a guidance if you thought about launching one in the past, so that you really know what you will have in front of you when it comes to starting that type of business model. Alright, so let's start with the benefits of a one product store, because there are plenty of them actually. So the first very clear benefit is that you have a very straightforward store setup. So I know that when you create a new store, you're super pumped, you want to create something cool, you set up all these pages and products, but at some point it just gets very tedious. And this is usually when you start importing all those products. So this is because I and many others recommend that you have individual product descriptions, great images, specifically designed upsells and all these things. But this can get very tedious if you have dozens or hundreds of products, right? So this is why I see many businesses, especially small ones, they create like a handful of good descriptions, and all the rest is just straight imported from AliExpress, which is very bad because they have usually terrible product descriptions. If you only run a single product store, on the other hand, you only have that whole work once. So you set up the whole page, right, with the designs and all these different things, but when it comes to the product page or the main landing page, you really only have to write one description. You have to, use 4 or 5 images, whatever you want to do, probably a video, but this is literally it. So you don't have all this repetitive writing, setting it all up, adding all these pictures. It's just one thing, and now you can really focus on that one product. So you can really write a massively powerful description. You can literally, spend 1-2 hours writing a perfect description, setting up some great images, using a cool video, and now the chance of selling this product is like 20 times higher than selling just a random product in your general store, where you just copy and paste the description, have some very average or pixelated images. And now in this one product store, it's just way more convincing for people to buy, especially, now you have a domain that is suited to your product, you now have all the designs that are directly targeted to that product, and it's just so well executed that it's super powerful to try that out. The second good thing here is that you can really focus your targeting when it comes to any sort of advertising. So if you use Google Ads, for example, now you can massively research that one single product or sub-niche that you're in, and you can basically learn everything that there is to know about it, right? So you can come up with every single tiny keyword in every variant, and you can create plenty of ad groups or campaigns where you really massively target everything towards this little keyword. And what you can also do is, technically, you can create multiple landing pages for each of these keywords and campaigns. So you can, for example, create 5 different variations of your landing page, and each time you really target another main keyword, right? So you can have a product, and you can have product plus review, for example, where you put plenty of reviews on the product page. Then probably, some others where they want to compare it to other common products. Then you can list the original product and some others and show them like why this one is better. And there are just plenty of things that you can do if you just want to play with the wording a little bit, but you can have maximum relevance for each and every search query, which is very powerful. But also when it comes to Facebook, you can like massively research everything that there is about your target audience. So let's say you have a target audience of 5 million people for your general interest. Now you can really segment different audiences. You can try each of them with different creatives. Every single creative tailored to that one product, basically, of course, and to that one target audience subset. And also, in the end, remarketing is just way easier to do because you only have one product, and now you can really base every single retargeting message on that one product and get very creative with your retargeting, which is extremely powerful versus this normal standardized retargeting when it comes to general stores, for example. Now, the third good thing is that it's great for small budgets, because if you have a ton of products in your store, usually you end up advertising a lot of them, and it requires quite some money before you get like good significant results for each of these products. If you only have one, and let's say you run a campaign on $10 a day, this can still give you massive data. And the reason is, of course, that with $10 you can definitely get like 20, 30, 40, even 50 clicks or more to your page every single day. because it's only one product, right? So you get all those clicks to one product page, which means you can really quickly learn whether you have a good page, a bad page, if something needs to be optimized. It's way easier to do a split test if all your traffic goes just to one single page versus 20 different product pages. And it's just way quicker to get results, work on them, improve, and you will see that this is just 100 times easier if you do it that way. So if you have a small budget and you are kind of frightened on how you test 50 products at the same time, which is indeed very difficult, with the one product store, all these things will become much easier for you, and it's definitely worth testing if you don't have the budget to go with a massive inventory. The fourth thing, one of the biggest advantages too, is that you can use a massively optimized theme for that one product store. So there are plenty of free themes on Shopify, but when you run a one product store, there are a few that are especially useful. So Debut is a typical one product store theme. I think Sesame, Open Sesame or Sesame or something like that is also a theme that is for one product stores. I believe that I used it in the past. I'm not entirely sure whether it was the right name now, but this is a cool theme that you can use for your one product store because it has like very big visuals, very big like tiles where you can add your images and everything. So keep in mind that when you run one product store, you will use a lot of space probably for like images, videos, testimonials and all that stuff. So you won't have this typical Shopify product page where your price is on the right and your image is on the left, and then you have the description. So think about something more unique if you only sell one product anyway. And you will see that with the right theme, it's very straightforward to set up the whole store, and it will look great if you use one that is specifically designed to support a single product only. Also, in the long run, your product sourcing will be much more effective, and it's easier for you to brand the whole store. So when it comes to product sourcing and you source 100 different products, it's very difficult to max out the quality of every single product and get the best prices for every single product. Whereas if you only have one, you can literally search for the single best supplier for that product. You can literally test like 20 of them. You can buy samples and you can find the one that has the best price for you and the best quality. So basically the supplier that has the best product possible. And that way you can really not only satisfy your customers way more, but also save money. This is extremely hard to do if you just have a ton of products, because how do you really optimize the supply chain basically, or your import for every single product? Whereas with one, this is super straightforward to do, and you can even like buy them in bulk later on. You can buy 1,000 of them, massively save again, way higher profit margins because it's only that single product. And of course, it's way easier to brand your store. If you have just one product, you can brand your store as this like store for that one product. You can eventually also design like your own packaging. You can use your own labels. You can put your logo on all of these things. Maybe you can even like brand the product itself so that you put your logo on the product itself, or maybe even add some functionality later down the road. So all things that you can do if you make enough sales and if you really push forward to really scale it to the next level and turn this one product dropshipping store into a valuable one product brand that you may also end up selling for good money at some point in time. And last but not least, something that might be interesting for you too is ranking and authority. So if you have only one product, of course, at some point you may become an authority for that specific product, and people may, prefer to buy it from you versus from just a general retailer because they heard that you offer like a unique buying experience, very in-depth service for this one product. As I said, later on probably you establish some good like brand recognition or some good brand value for that whole thing. And people tend to buy from you more likely than from a general retailer where it's just one product out of a million, when you can really tailor the buying experience to this one single product and, as I said, just deliver the best buying experience possible. So another thing is that your authority, as I just said, will go up, and chances are that at some point you will also rank up for like search queries related to your product, because maybe your domain is about that product, maybe you have a ton of these keywords on your page. At some point you may get backlinks from affiliates or whoever you may want to work with. And this will massively increase your authority for that product and for these main keywords. And eventually, in some months or however it may take, depending on your niche, you will actually see some rankings on Google as well. Now, when it comes to the cons, basically the negative things about that whole thing, basically I just know two cons, one of them being very big. And this is, of course, that it's just a lucky shot. So if you have no info about a product before and you just start with something because it sounds promising, you're just testing one single thing, right? And if you cannot make this product work, even with all the proper advertising, testing Google and Facebook and probably influencers and all these things, if it still doesn't work, it's just your only try. So you don't have other products that you're testing at the same time. And if this single lucky shot doesn't work out, well, pretty bad for you. You wasted some time, and there is no way that you can move to another product from one day to another. At least not if you had a domain that is specifically designed for that one product. And even if you don't, you have to switch it out, you have to find a new one, you have to rewrite all the text, you have to start entirely new advertising campaigns, etc., etc. So that's definitely not ideal. Now also this means that if you really want to build a one product store, research here is king. So you really have to sit down, you have to look at all kind of products, you have to look at the margins. I recommend using one product stores where you have somewhat higher margins, like sell products for at least 50 bucks or something. Then also it makes sense if it's a product where people may buy multiple of. So if you only sell one product to a single person every time, sure, this may work very well, but if they may buy like 2, 3, 4, 5, or if they maybe come up later to buy more of these products, this is of course the ideal thing, because then you may also get some repeat customers for this one product, and this is just a great way to not only maximize AOV, but also to maximize your customer lifetime value. And here's also the second and last negative aspect of this whole thing, and this is that unless you have this type of product, your customer lifetime value will be equal to the one that you get from the initial sale, right? So if you only sell one product and nobody needs more than one of these and will never need another one, unless they buy another one for a present or as a present, they will never buy one more. And this means that you get a customer, you pay for that customer, and you already know that you will never sell to this customer again, which is kind of problematic if you think about it, because it means that you have to be way more careful about your advertising costs. Now, in fact, it's something that many dropshippers do successfully anyway, they don't do that successfully anyway, because most only sell to each customer once. But still, if you run a one product store where you only sell typical products that people need only at one point in time and they will never buy it again, then you have zero chance of maximizing your LTV. Anyway, so these are the two negative points. But as I said, I believe in total, one product stores are a great idea, especially if you didn't have any success with e-commerce yet. If you really want to focus your marketing, focus your whole approach, have perfect descriptions, images, everything, and also absolutely optimize the buying experience for your customers, which is just way easier to do for a single product than for hundreds, especially if they are totally unrelated. So yeah, I hope that you like this little theory lesson here about one product stores. As I said, they can be very successful. I had a super successful one product store myself, and created 2 or 3 others afterwards that were somewhat successful, or some are also not successful at all. But they are definitely something worth trying, especially if you add variants for this one product where some people might buy this color or this size or whatever. So at least this gives you with a little more room to play with all these different variations. So if you liked this video, if it was helpful for you, please leave a like and also subscribe for more e-commerce and marketing content. Also, if you want to work with me for 4 weeks, I've created a brand new program called the eCom Bootcamp, and in there I will sit together with people like you for 4 weeks, once a week for a full hour, and we discuss how we can take your e-commerce business to the next level. So I will go through things like product research with you, marketing, scaling, store optimization, all these things in a 4-week bootcamp training. If this is something for you, if you think this could help your business grow, make sure to check out the website in the link below in the description, and I will hopefully see you in there. This being said, thanks for watching this video, guys. I look forward to see you in the next one too. Bye bye, and all the best with your business.